In today's Farm Report, proper nutrition is important for any livestock, but especially for calves if you want to keep them happy and healthy and growing optimally. Emily Wilmes with the University of Minnesota Extension Service Office has these tips.
As we know, proper nutrition in the winter months is crucial for all livestock. Maintaining a healthy diet with adequate energy keeps animals healthy and comfortable when the winds of winter blow. Today, I'd like to discuss winter feeding for calves. To keep calves growing all year long, regardless of the temperature outside, it is important that calf feeders pay attention to the details and closely monitor their feeding practices. Here are some simple tips to help calf feeders make sure that the details of feeding calves don't fall through the cracks. First, know how much calf starter is actually needed. Measuring calf starter is the best way to ensure that the correct amount is being fed. A simple trick is marking a feed scoop or other sanitized container with the desired amount. Paying close attention to how much calves are eating allows calf feeders to notice when a calf's intake is off. This allows for more immediate action to be taken if the calf is sick. Keep in mind that calf feeding needs are not universal across all operations. Breed, weather, and season, and the amount of milk or milk replacer fed can all affect the amount of calf starter needed to achieve optimal growth. As a result, it is important that calf feeders learn and apply what works best on the specific operation. Second, freshness is a must. Simply topping off calf starter buckets without routinely discarding leftover feed is a practice that is strongly discouraged, as this may lead to moldy feed on the bottom of buckets. Mold can result from moisture in the air, precipitation, or even the calf's own muzzle. If mold is present, calf starter consumption may be decreased and may even result in digestive upsets. Lastly, don't forget about water. Water plays an important role in calf starter consumption. If calves don't have enough water to help them consume calf starter, this may hinder their appetite. Calf feeders should be aware that as calves get older, water consumption increases. Lack of adequate water for older calves may lead to slug feeding of grain and subsequent digestive issues. Even in the winter, calves should be provided with fresh, clean water several times a day. To keep calves growing and developing to become profitable members of the lactating herd, routinely evaluate your operation's feeding practices and make sure that all employees are on the same page. This is Emily Wilmes with University of Minnesota Extension.
The 3 draft decisions submitted by the General Counsel is so agreed.
Amina Mohammed, chair of the World Trade Organization's 10th Ministerial Conference, hitting the gavel on the Nairobi, Kenya Ministerial, and on what WTO officials call the most significant outcome ever for agriculture in the organization's 20-year history. As WTO Director General Roberto Azevedo explains,
the decision you have taken today on export competition is truly historic. The elimination of agricultural subsidies, export subsidies, is particularly significant.
U.S. Trade Representative Michael Froman praised the Nairobi package and said its ban on export subsidies will level the playing field for U.S. agriculture. The Nairobi package calls for an immediate ban on export subsidies by developed nations and an end of such subsidies by developing nations within 3 years. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.